Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Friday to you and your family. Quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Just an update from yesterday. And as a matter of fact, we are looking at a pretty interesting, awesome situation here. Just breaking free from that range-bound activity there at about 38,000. So this could be the beginning of the next step here. And according to our Twitter followers here, out of 11 votes, 63% of you feel 40,000 is the next target versus 36,000. So come on over and take a vote if you want to see what's going on there. But generally speaking, Bitcoin's in pretty decent shape here. We're going to talk about that. We'll go ahead and jump into the back-end data as well. So if you are new to the channel, just know I love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. So what we want to look at here first is some liquidation levels. These are just some high leverage spots here. We can see some high leverage longs at about 38,000 even. Those are breakout traders, of course, and we got some high leverage longs at about 36,600. So those were opened sometime yesterday when the price worked all the way down to that 36.8 mark. Okay, so awesome stuff in that sense. That shows there's a lot of confidence in the upside, of course. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's, the price isn't going to turn around. It just means that a lot of folks are expecting the price to continue upwards, so the general bias has shifted. We can see here as well, more longs versus shorts in the market as an overall aggregate amount. Okay, so all in all, the bias right now is upside. I think it's pretty safe to say we're all kind of expecting 40,000 versus a retest of the 36,000 range. Taking a look here, let's go ahead and rerun the open interest and kind of just double check. We've got open interest about 38,000 even. That's the most amount of interest, of course. Which are basically just the late longs essentially, jumping in at 38. We can see the most amount at 38,000 and 37.9. Okay, so again, those are some long breakout traders there, definitely expecting the price to go further. See if there's any shorts in the area. I have to hope not. So you want to be careful shorting Bitcoin right now. We do have some shorts there at about 37.9. Okay, not a lot, but some. Okay, so overall, more longs than shorts in the market. We take a look at the 7 days here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the liquidation levels here and just kind of note that there are some high accumulations in upper and lower zones there. But for starters, any previous shorts at 38,000 got liquidated. They got wrecked sometime yesterday or last night, of course, but still, that is a very present thing. Okay, so now that we don't have too much volume above the price action could continue to run. We also got to recognize too that there's some new leverage levels at about 38,800, anywhere between 38.5 and 38.8. Those are likely some shorts here, trying to enter the market right now and play their cards right. Okay, same thing with 40,000. That's also a very high accumulation of volume. And then down below, we also have 35,200. Okay, so a bit of a range between the top and bottom range for low leverage, and then we got the high leverage shorts there, right there at the 38.5 range. Okay. So just some things to kind of note. And right now, ever since hitting record on this video here, we're looking at 38,400 now. It was at 38,250. So Bitcoin's definitely running. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the volume. We can see a significant amount of volume increasing here today. Obviously, yesterday being a holiday, we saw a lot less. Our average true range for the last couple of weeks is roughly 36,500. We've known that for a while, but just know that's somewhat of a support. Secondary support level based on volume is 37,200. Okay, so we're getting a lot of volume at 37,200, the low 37s. So that's a good sign as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on over to the daily, work our way down. Okay, what we're looking at here is a MACD convergence within perhaps the next couple of days if this momentum continues. It doesn't imply that we're just going to continue to shoot through the roof, but it's absolutely a positive sign to be back on the upswing there because we haven't had that convergence, so to speak, on the daily for a while now, ever since Bitcoin's kind of been, range bound between 35,200 and 38,000. We are well above 50 on the RSI. This is very nice, of course. We like to see this, a very positive contributing factor. Money flow index is still low, but this is a 14-day lag. You got to recognize that. A lot of money came in and out of Bitcoin frequently and infrequently, both in the last couple of weeks, as you can kind of see by those ugly red and ugly green candles. So yeah, interesting stuff there nonetheless, but we are above all moving averages, so still maintaining this bullish uptrend. 4-hour time frame is looking pretty healthy here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Took a quick peek earlier, and we are up above 50 on the RSI. Testing 70 right now, but the money flow index is increasing. And you got to keep in mind, money flow index this is based on the last 14 days of, 14 candles of trading, right? So the 4-hour time frame is going to give you more like a 2.5-day lag instead of the 14-day lag on the daily. So it's a little more accurate in that sense, and we can see in the last couple of days the volume has significantly increased. That's important. Okay, so ultimately a very, very good sign there. We're above all moving averages too on the 4-hour time frame, which is extremely beneficial. And of course, we have all green lights here that there's much more room to grow. We got basically a nice little reset with our push there. We consolidated right there at about 37,400 yesterday. And then the price pulled back a little bit, came back up. Now we're at a 3 here on TD sequential, really just telling us that we've got potential for like 7 more 4-hour candles. We've literally got 24 hours of continuation potential for this coin. Okay, so again, looking pretty solid there. Previous liquidity levels have been swept. There is a previous fair value gap as well that was also swept from here in back in November on the 9th. Okay, so roughly 2-3 weeks worth of liquidity has all been officially swept. Now, what that typically does is that once liquidity levels are swept, oftentimes the price can reverse itself. So just keep that in mind. It's not a guarantee. It's just going to return home, but there's a chance that the alternative too is for the price action come back down, retest 38,000 as a new low, and the price continues higher. Okay, so if the price does pull back to 38, that may be a good consideration for a long position. Okay, something to consider. Other than that, everything else is looking fantastic on the 4-hour. Last thing we can summarize with is the hourly and just kind of see what this run is looking like here. We are pushing a little hard. In other words, we've been on a continuation here for a while. If we look at, what is it? We're right here at a 9 on TD sequential. Okay, so we hit the 9 and then we've become overextended afterwards. Keep in mind that's enough of a reset here. We should have got a reset. So what this basically implies is we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're about 10 hours into this continuation here. Okay, so truth is, being 10 hours in doesn't matter too much. Honestly, not when these kind of runs happen. And if we take a look at the volume too, significant amount of volume increasing above the moving average here as well. So there's really no reason to consider, I would say, shorting yet. I very well think that we could see some much higher levels here for Bitcoin. Let's quickly look at Ichimoku Cloud. All green lights there. No reason to short this coin. Once again, we have no confirmation. Last thing we want to look at here would be to say some larger time frames. We'll reverse our fibs and get some potential resistance levels here for us. Okay, so the price continues to run based on yesterday's candlestick closure at 38,000, that being the previous resistance. We can see here that the next target would be 38,900, almost exactly 38,900, 39,350, and then almost exactly 40,000. So those are the targets there. So if you're going to take profit on a long position, hypothetically, 38.7 would be a decent consideration. 39.3, and then of course 39.9 just below that resistance level at 40,000. Keep in mind 1.618 is an extremely common Fibonacci retracement level. So if we do see the price continue to run, that would be a likely culprit to initially reject off of 40,000. All the more reason to put your take profit targets just below. Okay. All right, folks, that's really all we got here so far for the moment. I'll go ahead and post this playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, obviously. Thank you again so much for the wonderful support I've been receiving. On that, I will continue that, of course. Really appreciate that. Also, too, happy to help. Glad this is working out well for you. Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Between now and the 30th of the month, you get free $20 just for trading with leverage. So be sure to check that out. Awesome, awesome exchange. No KYC, no VPN required. You do have to use my link down below, but of course, that'll just leave you eligible for future trading competitions too. So it's really not the worst thing ever. All right, folks, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.